Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. My name is Debra Hogan. I'm a candidate for Broome County Legislature, District 14. I've been asked, why in heaven's name would I run for public office? For me, it's easy and simply put, I want to help. I have a true passion and interest in local government as well as state and national issues since I was a student at Shenango Valley. My social studies teachers gave me extra credit for giving current events reports from our local newspaper. That was the time when the Press and Sun Bulletin had AM and PM editions. My parents would come home to a newspaper that looked more like Swiss cheese than a home-delivered newspaper. Every evening we sat down for dinner to discuss the day's events, but more important, to listen to Action News at 6, followed by the CBS World News with Walter Cronkite and later Dan Rather. Sadly, I remember the local story of a missing paper delivery girl, Sherry Lindsay, and her subsequent murder, and asking my parents, why did this happen? They told me that sometimes there is no good answer and that people get punished. No longer could I go door to door fundraising with my 4-H value kit and cookies without one of my parents curbside. I also remember the debates and protests surrounding the opposition to the proposed incinerator and asking why were people shouting and carrying signs. My parents explained to me that was democracy at work. For me, 4-H was a building block and the foundation that provided me with the skills and confidence to pursue career and life goals. I exhibited my vegetables at county and state fairs with many blue ribbons and best of shows, even at horticultural national competition by Ortho. The sale of my homegrown vegetables and pumpkins, along with fair prize monies from exhibiting, lawn mowing, and part-time jobs, all combined to make my dream of home ownership by age 25 a reality. I purchased my home just over here on Holly Street in the City of Binghamton in 1993 and opened my consulting practice as president of Consumer Information Services a year later. That's a little bit about me. But what are my legislative priorities for the 14th District? First and foremost, job growth and creation, public safety, neighborhood beautification and revitalization, cooperation between city and county, and constituent services. For job growth and creation, small business is the backbone of our local economy. Broome County needs to support common sense policies and legislation that encourage job growth, eliminate red tape, and reduce taxes to let businesses do what they do best, create jobs to improve our local economy. Public safety. Crime is a problem for our residents, local businesses, and property values. Broome County has an important role in keeping local streets safe and illegal drugs out of the hands of our children and vulnerable adults. Neighborhood beautification. Blight is a problem throughout Binghamton. I want to make sure that Broome County uses all of its tools, including the new land bank and the city's code enforcement department, to address this. Cooperation between the city and county government is essential. Partnering with the city and county officials, we can address the problems facing Binghamton by reducing crime, rebuilding our neighborhoods, and continuing the restoration of the full 50-50 tax split. We can only solve these problems by working together and sharing services. Constituent services. Communication with residents about issues that they care about is crucial. I will dedicate myself to getting the answers for you and communicating with the entire district through meetings and newsletters. The taxpayers deserve answers, and I know how to get it done. I've been involved with community engagement, especially Neighborhood Watch, on the local, state, and national levels. In 1998, I was named the Crime Prevention Volunteer of the Year by the Crime Prevention Council for my work with Neighbors Against Crime, United Neighbors of Binghamton, and the Broome County Neighborhood Coalition. I have regularly sought out and brought stakeholders to the table, whether it is identifying community issues, hosting community and neighborhood watch meetings, or as a multi-year participant and graduate of the Binghamton Police Department's Citizen Police Academy and past graduate of both the Village of Endicott and Town of Vestal's Citizen Police Academies. Learning about our community is a passion of mine. Community service has been a hallmark of my involvement and active participation in community groups and events since my days as a youth 4-H member and leader. Name recognition in my neighborhood and community comes after years of hard work, dedicated research, passionate observation of good government, and engaging in calls to action when government policies or legislation need to be changed to benefit hardworking residents and business owners. I have been on the front line of combating illegal drugs and crime since June 1995, when my neighbors and I banded together to host a neighborhood watch meeting in my office with then Binghamton Police Department Sergeant Ed Munson and Officer Jim Lewis. From that first meeting of Neighbors Against Crime, we were born. Since then, we have hosted Halloween, holiday, Easter egg hunts, and our biggest event, National Night Out, which is coming up the first Tuesday in August, all at Columbus Park. Informational meetings with guest speakers include the police department, fire department, code enforcement, the district attorney, and corporation counsel, to name just a few, to help educate and engage residents and business owners. It is important to continue to educate residents on how to report suspicious activity and to recognize signs of addiction. Neighbors come away with the knowledge that they can band together to utilize city resources such as community response team, code enforcement, and the lockdown law to reduce and ultimately close down nuisance properties. Residents and business owners must take responsibility for the health and well-being of their fellow neighbors and our neighborhoods. They must be the eyes and ears of the police department, code enforcement, and the health departments. Our community is thirsty for knowledge and education on what is drug addiction and how to recognize the signs of addiction in a family member, loved one, or co-worker. The most important information to disseminate is that there are resources to get the addict into treatment and onto the road to recovery. I've taken the initiative to become Narcan certified so that if I've ever confronted with a person suffering from an overdose, I could render assistance and help someone possibly save their life. Community education and training is important and must be expanded. I am encouraged by the efforts of County Executive Debbie Preston, Sheriff Harder, District Attorney Steve Cornwell, and Mayor David, just to name a few, but still more needs to be done. I have taken the time and effort to attend several of the heroin education events sponsored by Broome County. I will continue to attend and host information nights for residents and business owners in District 14. As a community, we must band together with care and compassion for addicts and their families while practicing the tough love that law enforcement must render in order to prevent loss of life and to reduce crime that sustains those individuals engaged in supporting their addiction. We need to promote and support innovative education and outreach that will prevent troubled youth and adults from going down the path filled with addiction, a criminal record, loss of employment, possible separation from their children and family, and even the loss of life and self. The emotional and economic tolls of our drug epidemic are mounting, including the loss of life, community, and neighborhood safety, not to mention the soaring cost of medical and judicial expenditures paid for by you and I, the taxpayers of Broome County. I have been a leader in crime and drug prevention here in Broome County since 1995, and I look forward to continuing those experiences as coordinator of Neighbors Against Crime. I look forward to putting my knowledge, my information, and referral skills to good use for the people of the 14th District, whether it be for the addicts and their families or community residents alarmed by the rise in criminal activity in their neighborhoods and business locations. Several county and local agencies are stepping up to the plate to provide services, support, and education on these topics. These are great first steps. However, we must challenge ourselves to do even more with limited resources. We are the community that was built on enterprise, grit, and determination. We must not be defeated, but resolute in our determination to fight back against the scourge of crime and drugs in our communities. We must continue to forge ahead and create dynamic partnerships and collaborations now and in the future between the city and county, Binghamton University, SUNY Broome, and Davis College for shared services, economic development, and neighborhood revitalization initiatives. We cannot go it alone. No party has all of the answers. We must reach across party lines and invite fellow legislators to engage in open dialogue and provide opportunities for common ground. We must work together for our county taxpayers to maintain and improve constituent services and adopt fiscally responsible budget for our employers, the taxpayers of Broome County, many of whom are struggling to balance their family budgets and seniors who are on fixed incomes. I am dedicated, diligent, and determined. I was once described as tenacious by former Mayor Richard Bucci in a Press and Sun Bulletin editorial in my focused pursuit of the Department of Justice Weed and Seed Initiative grant. We can and must build upon Mayor David's initiatives for economic development and neighborhood revitalization, not just in my beloved Center City neighborhood and in the neighborhoods of the Northside, Eastside, and the First Ward, but across the City of Binghamton. I look forward to representing our constituents alongside Broome County Executive Debbie Preston and fellow legislators to benefit residents and business owners, not only from Center City, the North Side, East Side, and portions of the First Ward, but across Broome County. I am eager to continue the conversations I have been having with voters during the current petition process at their doors and when I'm invited into their homes. I will continue to travel throughout the 14th District to meet and listen to constituent concerns, to listen to their hopes and fears about what has made our community great, but more important, their ideas and suggestions on how to improve Broome County. Please join me. With 20 plus years of observing and participating in local government, I feel that this is the time to put my hard-won knowledge and experience of working with all stakeholders to benefit the constituents of Broome County. I humbly ask the voters of District 14 to elect me as their next Broome County Legislator.